It is not my position to give insight to what he's talking about. However, it is true.
Yeah.
And I feel that that will be revealed to everybody. But, you know, the point is, it's way beyond an individual. It's way beyond one person, one sighting, one thing. This is a symptom of what's been going on for a very long time. And there's been arguments that, well, why aren't these advanced tech that from foreign adversarial nations, we just don't know, or our black projects? Some of our friends actually think that. Now, here's the deal. One, the UFO phenomenon is not real. My friend, the UFO phenomenon has been here a long time.
Yes.
Right?
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Alien Addict on this fine and absolutely delicious evening. And it is it's a delicious evening because we've got tonight. Not only are we going to discuss the fact that the UFOs aren't real, we've got Hidden back. And he's it looks amazing.
Thank you.
How you doing, lad?
Enjoying the summer holiday, man. Wasn't that a Freudian slip? You meant to say the grift isn't real.
Beautiful. Stuniverse.
Good evening. Love those glasses.
A mystery on.
Wow.
With the backwards poster.
Oh, is it backwards?
It's flipped.
Yeah, it is.
Is my video flipped?
One.
Made in Taiwan.
Is that better?
No. It's fine. I think I prefer it, the I want to believe flipped. I
want to cross out the want.
Yeah. So I'm the Jeremy Corbell bit at the beginning. By that, I'm not here to discuss for an hour and a bit.
Hello, everyone.
Did Jeremy mean to say that the UFO phenomena is not real? I do find it's fucking hilarious. Let's be honest. I'm gonna have to play it again.
Now, here's the deal. One, the UFO phenomenon is not real. My friend, the UFO phenomenon has been here a long time.
Yes.
Right?
You can get it. The UFO phenomena. The UFO phenomena. I can't say that word. It's not real. No, the UFO phenomena has been here for a long time. It's completely the same thing. You know. I can forgive
he is never going to live that down. That is getting clipped and it'll go on every UFO channel forever.
Has anybody else done that yet? Has anybody else clipped it?
Yes. I haven't seen it. That's the first I've seen that.
Do you think that's okay? So when we talk about Duper's delight and when people like bullshit massively and then at the end of it pull a big grin off, like, you're actually believing what I'm saying. That's how the Duper's delight thing goes. Do you not think that Corbell, that is an illustration of Duper's delight on a massive scale? They're not real. Crazy japes to me.
Give us some of that money that Congress has got.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's all just one big thing, then big testicles on the guy for for that grand reveal. I'm so glad we've got a room full of Englishmen tonight because
All Northerners too.
yeah. Okay. All right.
And
Sorry,
Scottish.
Stu. Sorry, Stu. I keep forgetting about Braveheart.
I did live in Sheffield for a year, so I do kind of class myself as a Yorkshireman.
I don't know if you can class Sheffield as the UK, to be honest with you. I've been there a few times.
Oh,
Been in some sticky situations in Sheffield.
Was that at the lead mill by chance?
Blimey. We all seen the BBC clip, the BBC interview. Sorry, I'll listen to it with Grush
On Today on Radio 4.
Today on Radio 4. I'll bring it in for anybody who's not seen it.
You're making us admit to listening to Radio 4, by the way.
I'm just going to play a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I mean, I don't listen to Radio 1 anymore. A little bit old for that.
I remember the day I started listening to Radio 2 regularly, and then I thought to myself, fuck,
You getting old, yeah. That happened to me, Stu. I can't listen to this anymore. But yeah, the BBC. Also, I've noticed that on BBC iPlayer they've got the full Congress here, the full hearing, and that is just. Do you boys not find that odd that in this country we're now talking about this?
Not at all.
No. I think the BBC need to distract from everything that they're doing at the moment, so they'll be shoving anything
they can.
Yeah, they'll be like Loch Ness Monster reveals just directly, like anything they can.
Bigfoot sighted in London. Look when they would look about the anaconda in the Thames.
They keep going back to that, don't they? That's totally there.
Can I apologize, by the way? It seems my man to the left of George Knapp was not Jim Clapper. It was somebody that really looks like Jim Clapper, and he really does look like Jim Clapper. So I don't know who he was, but he wasn't Jim Clapper.
What does it say in the two blank seats? Obviously, the one at the back with the big white piece of paper with reserved written on it. No one's turned up, and the two in front of them. Who's next to?
One says reserved.
One
says reserved for witness.
No, the reserved one was for Stephen Greer.
One was reserved for the Hidden Underbelly, but he couldn't be bothered.
Right, I'm gonna play a bit of this.
Okay. Well, I've been speaking to David Grush and to his lawyer, Chuck McCulloch. First, David, why did he decide to come forward and speak at the hearing?
Chuck
It
McCulloch.
boils down to a sense of duty, and an act of, truth to power. And it seemed like me going public was the appropriate lever to pull when it comes to public accountability and emphasizing the seriousness to, different branches of U.S. government.
The correct lever to pull.
Claim that you made during your evidence, and the one that made the most headlines, was the claim that the U.S. government has, quote, intact and partially intact alien vehicles in its possession. In other words, it has them, but it isn't telling people about them. Why did you go public with that specifically?
I found that to be very important for, the public at large to understand.
Is it just me, or like everywhere else has he corrected the person that's talking to him and said, "I don't like to use the word alien"?
Well, isn't it the new narrative to call them NHIs?
Yeah, non-human.
Yeah, but he hasn't said that now. He didn't correct the guy. I expected him to correct him and said, "I like to call them non-human." I mean, unless he says that in a minute.
Their place in the cosmos, their place in the universe, and that's something, I believe the U.S. government should be, held accountable for potentially overclassifying or misclassifying basic science.
But how do you know they have these items? Because you've not seen them yourself.
There's certain things that I have firsthand access to that I can't publicly discuss at this time. However, myself and other colleagues interviewed, 40 individuals, both our current and former highly distinguished intelligence and military personnel that were specifically on these programs. And those that were willing, I directed to the Intelligence Community Inspector General. So the Inspector General was able to interview these people that do have direct firsthand information.
Right. So they have that information directly. Have they actually seen these vehicles?
The individuals I interviewed that I directed to the Inspector General, yes, they have the firsthand experiences, yes.
Right. Which is an extraordinary claim, as you would readily acknowledge. Why?
So fucking English.
Why, if it's true, has the government not acknowledged it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a multifaceted question. You know, it goes back, 80, 90 years ago when this was first created, and they, translated some of the secrecy from the Manhattan Project onto this subject because, they weren't sure how ontologically shocking it was going to be to the world populace. And then two, as you can imagine, it's a Pandora's box for, potential military and weapons development type reverse engineering activities. So they decided to keep it under wraps for many years.
We're talking here just about the US government. If they've got these things hidden away, surely other governments around the world might have had a similar experience. So the idea that it's a solely American thing is surely fanciful.
It does cross into other countries and other allies, to include the Five Eyes Alliance, which is something I've already stated publicly. The media reporting bias and societal transparency is a little different in the U.S. So that's the crux of what most people hear, but it is certainly not an American issue.
I want to put some of the doubting voices to you in a moment, but I want to bring Chuck in first. Chuck, as a lawyer working alongside David, what are the legal implications of what he is saying and what the government is denying?
Our government relies on congressional oversight, the checks and balances of congressional oversight. David's allegation at its base is essentially that Congress does not have access to the information it needs to properly oversee things going on in the executive branch. That was his main concern. So he's briefed both of the intel committees, and he's had a 2-hour hearing, 2 hours of testimony last week.
David, can I go back to you with some of the responses that have been aired to what you said? The head of the Pentagon's office in this area, Sean Kirkpatrick, issued a statement last week, you'll be aware of it, calling your testimony insulting and saying that you were never a representative to his unit.
Dr. Kirkpatrick oversaw our activities and what we were doing and the money we were spending. I never said I was a part of the core team, so I believe it was just lost in translation or misconstrued.
David Grush and Chuck McCullough.
That was a good question at the end.
Yeah.
It's I can't see where this is going to go now. I don't know about you boys, but I don't know where this is going to go next for Grush.
So I've been reading between the lines, and essentially where he's been saying that it's non-human intelligence and he's reluctant to use the word alien. That's then driving us down the line of, is it Russian chimpanzees or Korean dogs or whatever they've used as test subjects? And if you teach a chimpanzee sign language, does that now class as a non-human intelligence? They were previously non-human tool using intelligences. But he then goes on to say that he thinks that it's very important for human beings to understand their place in the universe.
Exactly.
Which then
that takes the chimpanzee
takes it then back to aliens, even though he's not directly calling them aliens, or something that is alien to us.
Unless he's talking about what's its name? What's the film with the chimpanzees where they become human?
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, maybe we sent the chimps out and they
It's quite. Isn't there one up there that they never got back? One of the Russian missions.
Oh, I don't know. Is that right?
I think it ran out of here.
Oh yeah, no, that's my
Laika, the dog.
My thing, or is it the dog?
The dog definitely ran out of air.
Made it, did it all, and then on the way back, basically ran out of oxygen and burnt up. And allegedly, there's I think it's Polish or Czechoslovakian or something, recording. Two guys used to record all the moon missions, had the radio comms channel, and they recorded a Soviet.
They were Italians, the guys that recorded that.
Was it Italians?
They were Italians, but they recorded
the female astronaut.
The female astronaut,
cosmonaut.
Yeah, and
Getting what?
Well, she died. She died in space. Like, she was losing. The craft was basically falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was the temperature. She was saying there was fire. There's fire.
Yeah. She died in re-entry, basically. But it happened with 2 other cosmonauts as well, didn't it? Am I right in saying that? That it's only, I think it was only in the 90s, after the fall of the Berlin Wall and communism kind of fell apart, that they found out that 2 cosmonauts had been lost. At one point, they kept it secret.
But that was right at the start of the program. So is it the JPL, Jack Parsons, isn't it?
I think
is it Jack Parsons? Yeah. So he was the founder, along with the paperclip German guy.
Jack Parsons, Crowley's mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crowley. So that was all steeped in occult right at the start. So what was going on there? How much occult was attached to that woman dying in re-entry? Going, fuck bloody use those symbols are to me now.
It's the same as you've got the kind of conspiracy that the Apollo 1 guys who get killed on the launch pad, like Gus Grissom was basically talking too much and complaining about things, and they stitched them up and burned them alive.
Why would you put a lemon on the control pad? That's what he did. He put a lemon on. He knew it was happening.
When it comes to the 3 people that we've had that have all put the hand up and swore, what do they call it? It's gone straight out of my brain. What do they call it in America?
Under oath.
Under oath, yeah, that's it. Thanks, Hidden. I don't know why that went out.
Testifying under oath.
That's the one. They say we're going to get more of this. Do you think we're going to get some of the people that can back up Grush, or do you think we're going to get just some of the same faces we've seen before?
They're all going to back up. They're all going to back each other up. I think the last show I was on with Lou, what's his last name? Lou
Jimenez.
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. And I think they're all. If you notice, Grush has changed his story.
Which bit did he say that it was the nail on the head for you?
About the money. About the money.
Follow the money.
About the money. And I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with what he said. In fact, that's the narrative I've been pushing, because people have asked me, do you think it's a distraction? And I told them no. It's just, there's a lot of things going on that you could perceive it as a distraction, but it's not a distraction. There's a lot of money in Congress that they all want a piece of. So they're all starting to back each other up. Now you're seeing a trend in Bob Lazar was right because of what Grush said. Yet there's no evidence. Again, there's no evidence. And they're going to roll out other people that are going to talk with no evidence. Now, what Grush has done is when he first came out, he said he was told by somebody else, and somebody else told him this information. Now he's saying he's seen things. Am I correct, or am I wrong?
No, he said I don't think he
what
said
him and his wife encountered was most disturbing.
No, but I think that's the levels of threat. I don't think it's he's never claimed to have seen a actual evidence. He spoke to people who have told. I think what to read between the lines, what he's saying is he spoke to many people who he held in high regard, who have all backed up the same story, which has led him to believe that this is a real thing. My question there would be, for a guy who's clearly very patriotic to his country, probably very good at his job. Why blow the whistle on it? You know, why go? What happened?
You're asking these questions, okay? And we're all people that work. We all work during the day and then come and do a show like this in the evening in our spare time. But there must exist somewhere out there some true Fox Mulder style person that has a wall full of clippings and lines drawn between them, and you know, someone must work this out. Can we not do that? Can we not give it to can that ChatGPT not create that?
What is it you're wanting ChatGPT to do?
We could use Auto GPT and tell it to write, to go off and research the links between all the people in ufology and come back with a mind map of links. That would be
what's going on.
I'll ask it right now.
The chart.
I struggle with the money bit though. I know. You know, you do stuff with Camby and Mysterion, and a lot of these people all sing off the same hymn page when it comes to these guys, and they say follow the money. But how much money is in it? And is it enough money to swear in front of Congress? Because there is going to be consequences, and there can be consequences when you are found out. How would you ever find out the lie though?
That's it. That's what I've been saying.
Grush has a private corporation in order so that he can be paid.
How much money though?
Who
you're talking billions.
Look, people are going to try and demonize him. Someone's going to do, "You're a cruel one, Mr. Grush." And they're going to rewrite the Grinch song specially for him if we carry on in that direction.
That's it. The Soul Foundation. That's where he sits on.
I've never sung live on air before.
I liked it.
I was going to say that's going to be a YouTube short in the morning.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That's a cool camera, man. I didn't realize your camera tracks you.
Oh, I don't know. It's this. I've got an RTX 4070 and the software that comes with it, and video broadcast. Anyone with anything over a 1080,
right?
I think, can you get the NVIDIA broadcast software and it automatically pans around the room.
That's pretty cool, man.
I noticed when you left the room a second, the camera kind of drifted to the left.
Did it? He tried to follow me out of the room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far it pans out.
So hidden Mysterion. So we did a show. Was it me and you last week, Stu, on the Friday?
Yeah.
We also me and Lee and Dave did the Rockfin on, I think it was not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, when this had just happened. And we asked the question about the money, but when you take Fravor into account, now I do believe that guy saw something out at sea. Because there's also, you've got Dietrich to back it up. Fair enough, Dietrich, she saw 8 seconds worth. He saw, am I right by saying he saw 5 minutes worth of that
45 minutes, he says.
Yeah.
In a testing ground in non-active combat.
But with all due respect to everybody else that's in the chat and us four here, none of us are pilots. He's a pilot.
Planes, but
I've signed one.
Piloted.
Well, does just GTA count as being a pilot?
Does what?
GTA.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
GTA.
I've flown a UFO in GTA.
Nice.
I've flown a Tri-Pacer and a Microlight.
Okay,
so show off here. I've been in a Hawker Hunter and a Lightning.
Yeah. Oh wow, Hunter. Nice.
Good fun.
Reliable.
I made a glider from a kid.
That's about as real as it's gonna get, man. But yeah, I agree with I can't pronounce your name. Flasklab. There's no evidence to their claims. They're not providing no evidence to them.
There is no
I
evidence.
think the next stage, the next round of whistleblowers, I think we're going to see at least 2, maybe 3, possibly 4 whistleblowers. And they're the ones that are going to be dishing the dirt. But again, you'll not hear anything specific in public hearings. They're going to hear it in skiffs, but they're going to have to give us something. I mean, there's talk of like high-res satellite photos that are quite clearly showing craft from above. And
I've heard about that.
Okay, speaking from craft from above, so Hidden, I'm gonna put the image up that you sent me. So you say I've not seen this before. I don't know if Mr. Eon and Stu's not seen this yet.
I've sent it to Stu.
Yeah,
you have sent it to Stu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. It's what did I say to you when you first sent me this?
You said the possibility about it being
AI generated, yeah.
Which I totally agree.
But you got, so the person who sent you this said it went up on 4chan and it got deleted off 4chan.
I didn't say anything about it being deleted. I'm still trying to talk to him because I want links and everything. Because this photo
is interesting.
This photo is in my head. This photo is in my head, and I can't shake the photo out of my head. And once I've always
what seen cannot be unseen.
When I started doing this channel, I've always said you must follow your gut, and if your gut tells you something is genuine, you have to follow it. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I just don't know, but it's in my head.
From a photography point of view, the lighting's all in the right direction, so that's the first tick in the box. The grain structure, the noise of the camera, whatever it is that's taking it, kind of works. But yeah, Mr. Eon's right. That could just be a blimp.
It looks like the heavy lift dirigible that's got the same writing on the side. Go and have a look. There's a heavy dirigible that looks from the rear like it's a giant arse. Do you know the one I mean?
I think he's looking it up now.
And
has anybody else seen these in the chat?
I'm not sure it's American. I think it's a European company, possibly German, that's done them, and they look like that from above.
I've seen those.
What they look like. And there's a video of one of them crashing into an airfield and stuff as the autopilot on it went wrong. But they have a huge gondola underneath them, like a crew gondola. But
do you have
they're exactly that shape.
Do you only have that a screenshot of a screenshot of that Hidden, or do you have that's all you got sent?
That's it. I want more. I want more. This is why I'm trying to talk to this guy.
That's what
that looks real because it is real. But it's not a tic tac. It's
very low to the water. If it's a blimp / airship /
don't that blimp. I'm not trying to I just want to ask questions. Okay.
It's the writing on the side matches the writing. It's got writing on the logo on the side.
Hold on,
on the side of it. It's got like a swooped, like a sweep logo. It's not like a Nike symbol, but it's got that kind of chevron thing. That
is this the English company you're talking about?
Is that it? Let's have a look. Stu, have you found it?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. You can see something on the side of it.
There does look like there's something on the side. Well, could that be
shadowing? Blimp, I've got it. It's called Variolift.
Yeah, no, that does look like writing.
I want to see them 2 pictures at the side.
It's called Variolift.
Because if you look there, you see that it looks like something is submerged. These look like it could be just like white boys.
Right. So,
well, hopefully he might talk to me, because there's been a lot going on 4chan, a lot going on. So hopefully he might talk to me.
Because then you look
I'm
at
Facebooking this to you.
Your Facebook. Okay, cool. You look at them two at the top as well, and they're the two little yellow things.
The only problem you've got with Varialift is I don't think there's an actual craft. It's all computer generated.
Oh no, there is one.
Is there one?
Oh God, yeah.
So far?
Yes. There's a few of them that are coming out.
That are coming out.
No, that are out. That already exist. That are now being produced for commercial.
Do you know when they came out?
Oh God.
Well, I've got a YouTube video that's from 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's quite a while. I would say about 10 years at least they've been doing them. But I mean, blimps have been in production for ages. And the crazy thing is, all the stories from across Europe that we get of UFOs from the sort of 17th century or something onward, 17th, 18th century, would all appear to be airships.
Ollie, do you want me to share this YouTube video?
Absolutely, Stu. Yeah. Dark Sky Files, great channel. Go check him out. And channel member. 4chan and Orion is where it's at. I've not heard it. What's Orion? Is that another kind of like 4chan platform?
I don't know. If you're asking me, I don't know. We're waiting for Dark Files to tell us. I've never heard of it myself.
I've never heard of Orion.
It looks like. Huh?
We'll play that, Stu. Let's have to see that.
See, there's a fin on that.
Okay, yes, but there are ones here that don't have fins. There's something called an Orca heavy lift hybrid blimp, which has it doesn't just rely. Imagine getting like a quadcopter and attaching a blimp to it, so that you've got the power of the quadcopter but the buoyancy of the blimp.
A bit like the monitoring blimps. The traffic monitoring blimps, they're balloons attached to drones, so they can maneuver them wherever they want.
If you do an image search for heavy lift blimp, you just look at all those pictures. It's got to be one of those.
See, I can't see no propulsion on that, but then if you're saying it's underneath,
it's underneath, yeah.
It's got
it's attached to the gondola, which is in the center underneath.
Yeah, it's also got side bits and pieces.
You got the video, Stu?
Yeah, I'm just running it again. There's no point playing audio because it's.
Yeah, don't play the audio just in case. But
the fact that you've been sent a picture of a picture.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But I think my man's took it from thingy from 4chan.
Okay, so can we Google image of a blimp? Satellite image of a blimp and see if that comes up, because it may be an existing picture.
Show the other picture. Show the other picture, because this is what he said to back it up. That he done a search for the image and there's none found.
Is that CGI though?
Yeah, that looks CGI. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been able to come across.
I think it's CGI overlaid onto an image on a real image, so that you're looking at it thinking, but the airfield looks real in the background. That doesn't look CGI. Yeah,
but even if it is CGI, that would be a mock-up replica. Yeah, and that thing still has things on the side. It's not smooth.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to look for.
There are ones that do just have the gondola underneath and don't have fins attached to the delicate fabric balloon on the outside. Literally just hang underneath it. I mean, some of the hot air balloons that you can get nowadays as well, they've got ones that are like the shape of Darth Vader's head, and
I like it though. It's starting a conversation. It's getting a conversation going, and you know, quite possibly, maybe that is one of the things that these pilots may have seen, but it doesn't explain David Fravor saying.
It did maneuvers.
The maneuvers, yeah, that doesn't explain the maneuvers.
Okay, so if you look at the Leonardo systems in the UK have done Project Bright Cloud, which they were actively testing over the same area that those sightings were made. And the Project Bright Cloud is a deployable plasma decoy drone, which is able to radar spoof and pretend to be anything it wants.
Do we know how fast that thing goes?
Well, relative to what?
To what Fravor might have seen.
Well, if it was flying towards him, it could have then spoofed its location.
Did he not say that that thing went straight up and then it went straight down?
But also,
behaved like a laser pointer does. You're looking at the dot on the laser pointer, and the guy at the bottom's doing this, but the laser pointer's doing these amazing gravity defying.
Didn't Fravor say he saw it with his own eyes?
Yeah, he had.
So that will take away radar spoofing.
Okay, the only footage I've ever seen is of them saying, "Whoa, there's a whole fleet of them," and there isn't. You're seeing one on the page. So originally,
but that's not Fravor's.
There was an error where they've mixed the video from one with the audio from another, and we've never seen the video with. There's a fleet of them. Where?
Yeah, we've never seen the fleet.
We've never seen the fleet. That audio was played over the top of the spinning top. What do they call it? The gimbal. Which what's his face? The other British dude completely debunked and said it was down to the gimbaling effect of the
Mick West,
the camera. Mick, yeah. Bless him.
Diamond Mick West.
What's he on?
Diamond Mick West. Yeah.
West knows best.
I'm starting more and more to like him.
Are we competing here, Ollie? Do you want me to switch mine off?
Oh,
to be fair, the only sensible stuff I've heard has been from Professor Simon, or from Mick,
and from the Hidden Underbelly.
Oh, and from Isa, of course.
Why not? Why not? Plug him. He's got a book coming out soon.
Ollie, have you had a text from Lee? How's he getting on?
I don't know. He's so.
Has he released them people from his dungeons that he had over his birthday?
Every single blimp that I've looked at so far has some kind of like tail fin,
fins.
Way of controlling its flight. So I would say it's less likely that Tic Tac thing is a blimp.
Scroll back up, Stu, a second to this new one. This new one's got two. The ends are two cones.
That one.
Yeah, the ends. He's got that. This is the new one. Yeah, apparently. That's a mock-up of it, is it? That's not the real thing.
No, there is a video on YouTube of them crashing it into an airfield because they brought it in at too sharp an incline and weren't able to pull up, and they end up going. It's like throwing a cushion at the floor.
That one there's real.
Yeah, that's the one. The slowest crash landing ever.
That still looks nothing like what's in the picture.
Yeah. Look at the back of that, and then you look at the back of this. That's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that.
No,
it's not.
I, as much as I think it's a good suggestion,
just because it looked like it had writing on the side, that was all.
But that could be reflection. Like, it seems really low. That could literally be reflections of the ocean.
Yeah,
just
that's what I was thinking. That picture is a crawl in my head.
I think we need a new poster that just says, "I don't want to believe," because I feel now that is where the UFO community is going. We don't want to believe anymore.
I just have a poster with bollocks. Excuse me, written on it.
You say what the fuck you like on this channel.
I posted a Duke Nukem thing. I don't know if you guys caught it. I put it on Twitter, and at the end of it was just so funny because he said, "I believed in UFOs all my life, but now the government is saying it's real. I just don't know what to believe now."
I don't care anymore.
I care. I just think it. To me, to be honest, I think it's getting a bit laughable because, and the reason why I'm saying this is because with the word disclosure's been here for a while, with the CIA files, the CIA X files. There's also other organizations that's released their UFO files, and they're there to look at. I have posted links on my YouTube, on my channel. for people to go and check it out for themselves. So I just don't know.
What do we think disclosure is going to be? What do we think it's going to be? I mean, are we going to have portal guns and flying cars? That isn't going to happen.
No,
human beings can't have that tech.
Well, hopefully they'll show us those satellite images that they're banging on about now, the 4K satellite images, some sort of evidence. I mean, you say what you want about Kirkpatrick, but at least when he turned up, he came with some evidence. Yeah. We can argue the evidence that he showed us, but he showed us something.
Kirkpatrick's well dodgy though.
He could be, but at least he showed us something. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I look at people. You can tell, anybody can tell a story.
See the sort of smaller circular thing. What's above just it?
About to say,
because there's literally there is something just below the surface of the water there. That's not waves.
Oh, you think like a pointy thing almost?
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue because there is no information that
came
in that picture.
Yeah.
No, that isn't. No. It's a wave. That's pareidolia. It's pareidolia, yeah.
Okay. Where are we looking at?
With that there, okay, right. This, right, if you're going to put this down as a blip, yeah, let's just say it is, for argument's sake, it's a blip.
It's pareidolia, right? Isolate it and cover it. It's pareidolia.
If that's that blip at that
literally
size,
cover it with your finger.
Yeah. If that is the blimp, yeah. And for some reason we're just not seeing the shape of the end, but it is that size blimp. What's that little thing there? Because that's big. If that's a blimp, that's big. That's a big ball.
Maybe that's what it deployed. Because they like talking about these big ships sending out little ones. Who knows?
It's someone that works on an oil rig. They've put a piece of glass over the edge of the oil rig and put a tablet and a white ping pong ball and taken a photograph of it. But that wouldn't account for the shadow, would it? Bloody hell, damn.
A wind turbine without the blades?
It could actually be a tic tac. It could just be. It could be
literally a tic tac.
Yeah, literally, it could be like an iPad with a tic tac on it and a picture of the ocean.
The round one. The round one could be a speckled Mitchie.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I'm being stupid.
I think so too, my friend. If anybody has the original copies of these, can they send them through
yeah, we want to see them.
Eduardo got it.
Send them through, yeah.
Eduardo nailed it, man.
It's a full and half.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It really is. I mean, but we're just speculating over a photograph of somebody's computer screen, but that is what we get in ufology these days. No, that's not.
No.
I love that. I love that you sent me that.
Me too.
It's got the mystery. We need we always have a mystery. In ufology, we've always got a mystery and a puzzle to solve. That's the greatest thing about it.
And that's why I enjoy doing what I do, because those kind of images, and you know how long I've had that, and I haven't put that picture out.
You've sat on it for months. About a month. A month?
But I don't know. I don't. But I've sat on it.
I'll tell you when you sent it to me. You sat on it since.
Not a day has gone by that I've not thought about that picture and gone back and had a look at it. And I've been trying to look at it. And the only thing I can come up with is either it's AI generated,
half a month.
Either it's an AI generated image, it's a very good Photoshop, or it's real. And if it's real, I mean, it could be like what you said. It could be a blimp. It's something that's there that could be misidentified, or we're looking at a UFO.
An unidentified flying object. Or unidentified floating object.
Or an unidentified faked object.
Yep. The UFO.
So I said AI. As soon as Hidden sent me that, I went, that'll be AI. I was looking at it on my phone. I went, AI's done that. Someone's done some AI images, put them in them frames, put them on the computer, took a picture of it.
But
because they don't, just hear me out, Hidden here. They don't want you to see the mistakes that AI makes. So they've taken a shot of the computer screen because it makes it harder to see.
Spot it.
So then I went and messed about with some AI imagery and sent it back to Hidden and said it's easily done.
But what you did was nowhere near that good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah.
So, but I was going to make a point about see, I'm putting everything together because of what happened on 4chan with the whistleblower, and whether this guy was credible or not, it was far better than what Gross was saying. It was very entertaining to read. So I just don't know. And with a picture like that, that's in my head, it's bugging me. It's bugging me. And I think it's a genuine picture. More and more, whether it's misidentified.
Have you emailed the person back?
Yeah. I've been emailing him. He's finally got in touch with me yesterday, and all he said, because I was asking him about where the picture's from, what's the info, and he said he just messaged me saying, "Look, I got it off of 4chan." So then I can check and see if he's messaged me again.
It wasn't 4chan the one that went down back in 2016 with the supposed alien?
Yeah.
What was it? I might even have the image of it.
Nothing.
No,
I've just found the image that I sent to you in the start of 2021.
What, are you Facebooking it to me again?
Yep. I sent you this as a show intro. This was one of the first AI generated images I did in over 2 years ago. And you never replied.
Thank you, Stefan, man. Thank you. I agree. It's never some of these pictures you can look at and just say, man, they're fake. But that one is bugging me. Because as much as I want to write it off as fake, I can't write that image off.
Oh yeah, I remember you sending this. Yes.
Oh, that looks good, man.
It's fake though. It's just an AI image.
Oh no, but that looks good, man. I've seen worse ones on that going out. What's
the fact it caught the reflection on the water as well, you see.
Yeah. So we spoke about this quite a bit, me and Stu.
I can see something, but yeah. So
AI is going to be the thing that's going to get in the way of everything now when it comes to anything that we get sent. You could be the biggest fucking UFO channel, or you could be fucking George and Jeremy Corbell sat in your office, and somebody walks in and say, "Boys, got this, all these documents, every single one of them." If the government, well, the hidden whatever government, wanted to make you think a certain thing and wanted to lead you in a certain direction, you could get, because this is stuff that we have, the AI stuff that we play about with. But what do the professionals have? Because they always, conspiracy theories say they're always, 10, 20 years ahead of the game.
I would say when it comes to AI and video and imaging, that probably the open source AI community is ahead of anybody in the government, because the guys that are building this stuff are smart cookies. They're at the cutting edge of what they can do. But that being said, all the stuff is open source, so you can train an AI to scour the internet for this kind of stuff and make it really quite amazing. Like I did a test AI thing just with like images of me, selfies and stuff like that, and the stuff it ended up putting together was just looked like me. Apart from what gave it away was it doesn't seem to be able to generate hands very well. So you end up with like a copy of yourself with like 8 fingers and stuff like that.
Are you, Stu? Are you running it locally, or are you running? Are you using an online version?
Online.
Okay, so I have my own local install,
Right.
and the main install is about 20 gig, something like that. And then I've got I've filled a terabyte drive with all the textual inversions and models that I've trained myself. So I can do crazy stuff. I'll dig an image out in a second. Steve wanted me to do him meeting Sasquatch in a forest. So I got it to do, you're saying the face swap thing, give it an image of yourself. I gave it an image of Steve and got it to originally generate a picture of Adam Driver meeting a Sasquatch in the woods.
He has a look.
Yeah, it's the Kylo Ren thing, isn't it? Somewhere between Kylo Ren and Trinity from the Matrix.
Yeah,
that's the blend I used, in fact.
Isn't it Rich that calls him Kylo Cambion? So, I mean, I'll be honest, that's got a good ring to it.
Well, he calls him Scambian, but there's absolutely no reason to call him that. The guy is just literally exposing grifters. He's a stage magician. He's the kid in the room that saw how the trick was done. Hold on. Whoa.
I agree with that, but I do like Kylo Cambion. I think that's a good.
That was the first thing I ever said to Steve. Actually, was whoa, he looks like Kylo. Kylo, that's cool. But yeah.
But now, don't you think that this is going to be the problem with AI? Is that whenever we get a picture like what you were just showing with the Tic Tac, yeah, let's call it a Tic Tac.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going to question it now. And what if a genuine picture comes out? We're going to question that and say, do you get what I'm trying to say? This is the realm that we're going to. That not even though everything could be fake. What about the ones? If you got 1 million pictures out there, surely one of them must be genuine.
We are now in an age where do not believe anything unless you can touch it or smell it.
That's
I think we've been there for a long time, to be honest with you, especially with stills, but it's getting even worse with video now.
See, that's
the videos I sent Ollie a link before to some AI video that we've been generating, and
we'll do
the model is now photo real
AI stuff. There's a few people I know that do AI. It'd be a good show to do.
I've managed to hack my generator. Normally what happens is when you generate the AI video, it leaps about all over the place. If you can turn down the noise generator and increase coherency in the video.
I don't want to make this one too much about AI. The concern is there. People are going to get fake stuff with AI. That's a fact.
100% they are.
But what the BBC guy said was, in so many words, I can't remember the word for word without playing it again. I'm not playing it again. He was saying, so it's not just America. Is it just American? And then Grush just went round and round. In fact, fuck it, I will play it again. Keep talking amongst yourself so I can actually find what this bit actually says, because it was interesting what the English guy said.
Yeah, I mean, he basically had said that. Well, Grush had said that it was the Five Eyes.
I'm just finding it, Stu, now.
Which is USA, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Is that it? Is that the Five Eyes?
Yeah. Sorry, Stu. I would just find it. So I had that played in the. I couldn't hear you guys. I found it. Yep, got it. There you go.
Keep it under wraps for many years.
We're talking here just about the US government. If they've got these things hidden away, surely other governments around the world might have had a similar experience. So the idea that it's a solely American thing is surely fanciful.
It does cross into other countries and other allies, to include the Five Eyes Alliance, which is something I've already stated publicly. The media reporting bias and societal transparency is a little different in the U.S. That's the crux of what most people hear, but it is certainly not an American issue.
I want to put some of the doubting voices to you in a moment, but I want to bring Chuck in first. Chuck, as a lawyer working alongside David, what are the legal implications of what he is saying and what the government is denying?
Our government relies on congressional oversight, checks and balances.
I actually thought when I first heard that guy without listening to the lawyer's name, I thought that guy sounds just like Danny Sheehan. Is it actually
of congressional oversight? David's
it's not. But yeah, I mean, the title of the video is our Air Force under threat from UFOs, and I think it was Lee said, "Did you want to put the U.S. Air Force?" I think it was Lee that said that. I can't remember.
It was me.
I was you, were it, Stu?
Yeah.
And I said no, because surely if there is a threat out there from UFOs, not necessarily attacking aircraft, but aircraft flying into them, surely that's a threat that would be the entire planet, not just the US.
Well, any time we've had large fleets of UFO appear, they've never then gone on to attack our military or attack us, have they? We've never had a Mars attack situation.
No.
And that would be the first incursion that we could recognize as aggression in some way.
Do you think we're going to get any sort of evidence of aircraft that's been affected by this down the line? Do you think that's where it's going to go? Or do you... Because... For me, and somebody said in the chat, I think before this video even started, Ollie, you don't even believe in UFOs anymore and aliens. And I'm like, I just put I want to believe in capital letters, but I actually don't know what it is. I've got no idea. And anybody that pretends that they know anything when it comes to this field is just kidding themselves. The debunkers probably have more credibility over anybody that is actually saying, well, no, it actually is this because I've seen it with my own eyes, but nobody has the proof. No, not even with all these camera phones that we have, nobody has the fucking...
You were closer to the truth with Dave.
Yes.
Believe me.
Yes, on the last night's Rockfin show. Yeah. Without speaking too much about that on YouTube, which I don't think I get too much trouble, but yeah, for what I experienced in America, made me believe in other things.
Mm-hmm.
I do
That's
think
where my experiences have all been that way, you see. What Lee said about the group of people stood around him, I have a story that we can share that's
yeah, you'd be welcome to come and do a Rockfin on that. I think there's a few people want to come on and share stories like that too.
Yeah,
I did see actual UFOs. We were near I think it's a science lab testing ground place where Dave lives, without giving any locations away. But the night sky is the clearest I've ever seen in my life, because this place is out in the sticks away from everything. And before I went to the States, Dave said to me, I guarantee you will see UFOs. The night that I went out UFO spotting, Lee wasn't well. We'd just done the paranormal ghost hunt thing, and he really wasn't well the next day. He went straight to bed that night. I participated in some things with Dave's friends in the evening, and I sat there in the chair looking up, and we had the I have night vision things that was very expensive, and I was kind of shaking, holding it, thinking, well, I thought I was shaking, I wasn't, but thinking I'm going to drop it. But I'm looking up, and sure enough, there is dots all over the place going straight across the sky. Some of them extremely slow, couldn't be satellites. And we all saw them, and I'm like, am I seeing this just because of the situation I'm in here? Is this real? But I'm like pointing them out to people, going, "Oh," everybody's like, "Oh yeah." Everybody had these night vision goggles, which sounds crazy, but they did. We all had night vision goggles, looking at UFOs. So these things, 100%, they exist, but not one of them did a U-turn. You know, not one of them just went like that and turned round. So
Ollie. You know these home security cameras that you can get? They're about 20 quid, something like that, on Amazon. Wi-Fi based. Well, once you've set them up and given them your Wi-Fi, you can plug them into a USB battery pack and put them out in the garden. And if you face them upwards, it's an IR-sensitive camera, and you pick up all the satellites going over. You get an amazing shot. And they're 1080p as well. So if more people had them pointed at the sky, we could create a network of UFO watchers.
So I think if you ever come on,
sorry,
I was just gonna say, if you ever come on with Dave, Dave will be able to tell you exactly what we used. But whatever we used, it definitely wasn't 20 quid. You know?
Yeah, I know, but you can. That's the thing, because they're IR sensitive. They pick up any commercial satellite in order to prove that it's been launched. You see, they put IR beacons on them, so we can't see them at night normally. But as soon as you look at them through IR cameras, so then a consumer can go, "Oh, look, there's my satellite going over," because it's got an IR beacon on it.
Your camera freaks me out every time it follows you.
Sorry.
It's craziness.
You got your cameraman in the room. Oh, camera person. Sorry.
It ruins the illusion. Look. If I zoom out, it's just silly.
So, boys, you. And I'm going to come to you, Mystery, on there. Oh, I like that one. That's perfect. You go on Cambian's show often, and I know you listen to Lou Jimenez.
I go on Steve's show because Steve is a dear friend of mine. He's a father. He's got an autistic boy. I worked for the We're All Autistic Society in the north of England here, and raised quite a lot of funds for them. As a result, it's quite kind of close to my heart. So Steve being a magician, stage magician, illusionist, something that I was interested in as well, you see. So we've got a lot in common, and I can spend ages chatting on the phone together. So
where do you sit with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell?
They are trying to put together compelling viewing material based on a very tenuous set of evidence that's out there. So if you can accept that they're producing woo and go, "Oh wow, that could be amazing," then it's okay. But I don't know. I mean, they're going very, very deep into the governmental side of it, and what I'm seeing of disclosure isn't giving me any answers for the experiences that I've had, which are more pertinent to your Dave experience. So I'm not seeing any answers. So when they're saying that there's more to reality, there's extra dimensional properties to this and everything, that's alluding to having answers for my experiences. But then it's just going on to military declassified sightings and stuff of UFOs. It's not getting down to what I would consider the actual nuts of this.
So Stu, Stu's working on the Bob Lazar documentary, and he's obviously delved into a lot of Corbell stuff. But I think am I right by saying that you've gained a respect for Jeremy as a film creator? But but would you say that you do believe that he has a passion for UFOs?
I think he definitely has a passion for UFOs. I don't think he's a bad person, but I think also he's kind of knee or maybe waist deep or neck deep in the George Knapp gravy train in terms of being able to make a buck or two out of this, because he's obviously produced what, 3 documentaries now. The Patient 17, was it? Skinwalker, Hunt for Skinwalker, and then Bob Lazar, um, Aliens, Flying Saucers, Area 51 and Flying Saucers. So he's, yeah, I mean, he's more talented than I think a lot of people would give him credit for. But the way he's like, when, like, for example, when he was on that Need to Know podcast the other day, with George Knapp and with Bryce Zabel and with Ross Coulthard, you could tell which one of them.
I really enjoyed that.
It was good, but you could tell which one of them was the amateur, and it wasn't any of the other 3. It was Jezza, you know. He was out his depth, and to the point where I messaged you about this, like, Ross Coulthard basically had to kind of slap him down and say, basically, shut the fuck up, because I don't want to talk about certain things, because it will probably compromise sources and stuff like that. But
they're Warner Brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're.
It's hidden. It's really. What are they? Nexstar. So News Nation and Nexstar. Nexstar are the CH or the CW. The CW, I think it's called, and the CW are owned by Warner Brothers. So if you go up the chain, it's Warner Brothers, Paramount.
Could be, or Comcast. I can never quite remember.
It's Warner Brothers Paramount, I think.
Is it?
If you search, so the chain is News Nation to Nexstar Media to the CW, and between Nexstar Media, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, they're all shareholders in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's only I think 5 or 6 media companies literally own everything.
Oh yeah, and then BlackRock owns everyone.
Yeah.
Be careful with that.
It goes well deep into the industrial complex very quickly. So it does. But no, I would like to. I can't remember the company's name, but there's the company that like produces pretty much all of the UFO stuff. Is it 1080 Productions or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. I'd love to know who's behind that, because literally they've got Greer stuff, they get Jez's stuff. I think they do James Fox's stuff.
I think they do a bit of Third Phase's stuff as well. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, no, definitely. I was kind of lumping them in with Greer, Darcy Weir's stuff. So whoever's kind of doing
relevant.
That, I need to dig into them a little bit more and find out who they are, because that could be interesting.
I would say though, so there's one thing and I could be completely talking shit here, because I normally am, but how many times has somebody sworn in front of Congress to make some money in history?
Are we talking about lobbyists? Because we're talking about lobbyists a lot.
Right, okay.
My mum's 78. My mum's 78. When I showed her this, she said, "Why are they doing all that again?" She saw it the last time.
Again? When has this happened in front of Congress?
In the 60s, apparently.
Yeah, 60s.
Who did that? Exactly. I'm not a ufologist. Definitely, I'm just a.
Was that not the Robertson Committee or something?
Yeah, what case was that? What case was it?
It was part of the whole project Blue Paper. What it was, Blue Book.
Blue Book.
Yeah, it was part of that whole thing, and it got shot down in flames.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I think they only suggested that maybe 2 or 3 of the cases out of all the hundreds of cases they kind of put towards them that they were non-conclusive.
That's what the X-Files was about, them revisiting those cases.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
With was it Hynek, wasn't it? Jell and Hynek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got once. Got one before this one.
That's it.
What about the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition?
J.L. and Hynek was paid to do this sort of research, and then he all of a sudden turned around and like, it's real.
Yeah, he became a believer.
You know, we're calling him a grifter now.
I think the son's a grifter. I think he's, earned off of daddy's reputation.
My boy's a grifter.
So have we've all seen something in the sky that we weren't sure what it was?
Yes.
And quite definitely for me, in 2018, I saw a massive big black triangle. No lights, no sound, completely silent. Our phones, we couldn't get our phones to pick up on it with the camera.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen stuff over the Firth of Clyde and that, but I know that what I've seen is military aircraft.
Right, yeah.
It's like...
We're on the flight path from the Filed airfield down to the Mach Loop, so we get like Chinooks, bombers, all sorts of stuff going overhead.
But I mean, what I saw was they would classes like Dark Star, Aurora, SR-72 style stuff out of Macrahanish.
Yeah,
and those things are like tanking it. Like you could definitely tell they're not just flying away at Mach 1 or Mach 2. It's like Mach 5.
Ollie, that pint that we're going for, I might pick you up on the way up to Stu's.
Oh, absolutely. We'll do a UFO pub crawl. Sounds amazing.
I can rig these so that if you create an ad hoc network from your mobile phone, you can have these laid out in a field attached to USB cameras and still connect to that ad hoc network and view the cameras from your mobile phone. Just running on USB power banks.
I've got the perfect place.
So, by the way, for your ghost hunting as well. For your ghost hunting, my wife got a package from AliExpress, which was human motion sensors. They screwed up a parcel and gave us some hair ties and a pack of human radar, human presence sensors. I reckon I can rig them to be ghost sensors.
Cool. The issue I have with the ghost thing though is I don't know. I definitely think there's something in places, but I don't know if it's like,
wise to go looking.
I don't know if it's like the prison we went in. I don't know if it, I didn't think it was the prisoners. Definitely, I felt there was something weird there, but I don't think it was like dead prisoners.
It could have been what fed. It could have been what fed on the despair of those prisoners.
I don't believe people die in
dark energy.
That place. Yeah, I'm not believing in that sort of stuff. Definitely opened my eyes to stuff, but not believing that type of stuff.
Plus, in those kind of institutions, there's a lot of occultism going on in there too. So you just really don't know what's going on in there. But you'll mental institutions, hospitals. Wherever there's death, there's some sort of negative energy there.
Feeding on despair.
Let me play this again. Do you think he looks like he meant... Because I've watched this a few times when I was doing the little edit for this. I do think it looks like Corbell said that on purpose. Maybe to create a little bit of drama. I do think that, but what do you boys think?
It is not my position to give insight to what he's talking about. However, it is true.
Yeah.
And I feel that that will be revealed to everybody. But, the point is, it's way beyond an individual. It's way beyond one person, one sighting, one thing. This is a symptom of what's been going on for a very long time. And there's been arguments that, well, why aren't these advanced tech that from foreign adversarial nations? We just don't know, or our black projects. Some of our friends actually think that. Now, here's the deal. One, the UFO phenomenon is not real. My brain. The UFO phenomenon has been here a long time.
Yes.
Right?
That's just a classic brain fart.
You think it's just a brain fart?
Yeah, I think he just basically he's
The reporter lays out Corbell.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's fucking with us, Stu.
He could be trolling us. There's no doubt about it. Listen, guys, I'm going to scoot early because when I'm getting tired. My dog here literally giving me the side eye as if to say, "Why aren't you walking me?" So
you did say you're going to stay for about an hour, mate. So yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
I'm going to bail, so I'll listen to it while I'm out. Okay, have a good one,
mate.
guys. Cheers, folks. Cheers.
Cheers, you, man.
Ta-da. Bye.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
I don't know what it is.
Hidden, I mean, you've got your UFO channel is. You're the guy that puts the actual footage up that you, and then you ask the audience what they think it is. But now we got people actively talking about it that are, they've got good jobs, high respected jobs. Do you think it's all just? I mean, you mentioned a grift, but can you explain that a bit further? Why you think that is just one massive grift?
Because there's no proof, there's no evidence. It's all a talk. I mean, it's if I like when we were talking last time I was on, I was telling you about my experience. Yeah. Now I ended up saying to you that because I've got no video, because I haven't got a photograph, it never really happened, did it? It's just
woonography.
But that's my point. That's why it's really, I don't go out there and talk about what I've seen, what I've experienced, because I've got nothing to back it up. Only my mind, and people know I don't hide the fact that I smoke a bit of marijuana. So people are going to sit there and say, yeah, you got stoned and you saw something. It's so I can't, and that's. I want to believe what these guys are saying, but without a shred of evidence. Well, you're tripping me out, man. Don't you guys feel the same way? I know. Somebody wrote to me on Twitter talking about, well, why would Gresh lie? He was under oath, and I just couldn't get into that debate with the guy because we have criminal cases every day where people are under oath and they lie. You get what I mean? So
perjury is very common. Yeah.
Isn't it a time now where we're hearing all these information? And I saw somebody say something about, Kirkpatrick's being a bad guy, but at least he came to the table with something. That's my point. Whether he's good or bad, he came with something to show people, to say, look, this is what we're looking at. This is an object we cannot identify. And then he showed another one that he said we identified. Yeah, the ball. That's the one he said he can't identify.
They show up all over the place.
I have footage of these objects as well.
I've seen one of them. Me and my wife have seen those metallic ball things as well. They're really common.
Yeah, they are.
I think I've seen an orb.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sorry. See, the thing is, I don't deal with military sightings. I will have the odd one or two videos on my channel that come from the military. Like I have the Chilean one, the Chilean footage. I posted that many years ago. But I deal with civilian sightings, and it's annoying. To me, it's annoying that the average Joe is being overlooked. Only people like MUFON with that have a very low funding. They have money, but it's not a lot. And they rely solely on field agents that happen to be in the area that can go out there and talk and get statements and everything. And this is what I think we have so many eyes looking in the skies of civilians. They're filming these objects. Now, they don't know what they're looking at. And God, I love them. I love them for that, because they don't know what they're looking at and they're filming it. And it's down to us to use our discernment and try. I mean, if I look at 10 videos, I debunk about 9 of them myself. I don't put out my debunks because that's not my job to do. My job is to be discerning on what I'm showing my viewers. And that's why it is up to them. I'm not trying to sway them to say, look, this is aliens or this is... What do you guys think? What do you believe you're looking at? Sorry.
What do you believe you're looking at?
I believe some of them can be identified, but we don't have the equipment to identify them. We don't have the resources to identify them. But I had this discussion and I said, you know what? 20% of my videos, there's something there. There is something there that we, it's a shame because if I had the resource, I would really want to look into them, delve deeper. Look at my compilation video that I did.
I mean, I would say as much as like people that they'll go after. I mean, even me and Lee we've had run-ins with Third Phase of Moon. I'm still actually friends with the boys. What are you apologizing for?
No, it's my camera. It's doing some funny stuff.
So's
unlike Mr. Ron,
so's Mr. Eon's. His camera's doing funny stuff.
Man, I'm tripping. Good thing I'm on anything else, man. I'll be like freaking out.
Yeah. If you like Mr. Eon's camera there, you might like last night's Rockfin. It was a good show.
Awesome show.
Yeah, I do think you're probably right. I think there's 20% of stuff out there on good channels that you can't explain. It may be something that it's nothing paranormal. It's just something that we've misidentified. But I mean, there's about 20% of stuff out there that has not, because you'll have been misled before. I've been misled before. I've put stuff out before that somebody sent me thinking, wow, that's fucking great. Turns out we're fucking hot air balloon.
That's why I appreciate my viewers.
The person that sent it to me must have fucking known it was a hot air balloon because he filmed it.
That's it. And it's funny how they always cut it off right at the moment when you as the viewer will be able to identify it. I always find that a bit trippy. You're filming an object. Why don't you film it? And I get this question asked me all the time when I'm showing these videos. And they say, why didn't he film it till the end? I can't answer this question. But it does, as much as it is annoying my viewers, it annoys me. And I think like some of these videos I've watched, I've seen some of these channels, what they pull. I've seen them, because I believe in sources. Along with my fish and chips, I like a good sauce. But when you got the source of where the footage comes from, then you can see what other channels are playing with. I've seen people take airplanes. And when you're able to look on the source and can see it's an airplane, they edit that bit out.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually a couple of times when I first started doing this, like I used to drive when Doncaster had an airport. I used to drive near Doncaster, and a few times I'm like, "What the fuck is that in the sky?" And it's an airplane. However, I couldn't see the wings because of the sunshine, and it just looks like a fucking cigar shape. Metallic,
but there's a way to tell now. There is a way to tell because in the center, where imagine where the wings are that you can't see. You can see a little line,
like a dip, yeah.
So you can tell now. I mean, I fell for that too. I fell for that because some of these wings are light blue colored to match the sky. So you are seeing a cylindrical object flying in the air, and that's why I like keeping in touch with the debunkers because that's how I've learned what to do. I learned my job from the debunkers and also from my viewers. I do have conversations with my viewers that and and they're never negative. They understand that I'm in a learning curve just like they are, so they're teaching me what they know. And like one guy, he wrote to me, and I wrote to him back saying, "Look, I just looked up what you said, man. Learning is fun because I learned something." And at my age, you know, I don't know about you, Mr. Ron, but when we hit a certain age, you think you know everything, and then you learn something new, and you're like, "Yeah, it's great to be alive."
Dude, it's just Ian. It's
Ian.
Okay,
there
man.
you go.
not Ron.
Oh, Eon, Mr.
Ian. It's Mr. Ian.
Okay, all right, man. I
Just
can't
Ian.
pronounce. I can't pronounce it. This is why I
just
try.
Oh, dude, it's just IAN. IAN.
If you ever listen to my videos, yeah, you can always hear me mispronouncing things. I'm not an idiot. I just can't I can't. Some words I just can't pronounce. Like when I have to say sphere, I can't say sphere. I'm saying everything else.
You just said sphere.
When I'm recording, I can't. When I'm recording, I should record myself recording a video.
You do sometimes call a TikTok a TikTok.
A TikTok.
I've caught you with that a couple of times. I've not had the heart to say anything because I just think it's fucking brilliant.
See, I don't even know how to do it. See, I try and avoid saying that word. I say pill-shaped object.
You've got like one of the biggest UFO channels. Probably I think the third biggest.
Wow.
UFO. You have got the third biggest UFO channel when it comes to putting footage out. Yeah. But you call a TikTok a TikTok. You call a TikTok a TikTok. Please,
Ollie. There's this. I think it's Chinese or Japanese or Asian game that they basically call pachinko, which is a load of pegs in a board, and you're dropping a ball at the top, and then you've got targets at the bottom where they land. Yeah, that's YouTube. It's like a pachinko ball and pegs game.
So what? I mean, she's had to leave now, but what we said on the last show, and I'm going to stand by it, even though like everybody has an opinion of this. People think Grush is a grifter. I don't think he's a grifter. I think whatever he's doing because he's either being led in the wrong direction.
You're a cruel one, Mr. Grush.
Yeah. He's been put in that position, and I don't know how, but for some reason he's being led to do that, or he's on a mission, and that is it. Just like Lou's on a mission, that is his mission to do that. I think it's either for his country, or he thinks it's for his country, or that guy is bigger than we think. I don't think it's about the money with him.
See, but this is always my problem. Why? You're a whistleblower. You're a whistleblower, yeah? You got evidence. Leak it. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot, like Snoop Dogg said.
I'm not saying that guy is legit.
At least if you're gonna have a good card, you do poker face. You don't go. You know, if he's holding his cards to his chest, then show us poker face and show us professionality. Not, oh yeah, they exist. No, I've seen them, but I can't tell you.
That's what I mean. Again, let's look at the guy who did the 4chan Q&A, the whistleblower on 4chan. I mean, that was pretty good stuff he was on about. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I think. Mind blown.
I'm not calling him a grifter. I just think there's a bunch of people that we know are grifters.
Might be worse than a grifter, mate. It might be worse than a grifter.
What would be worse than a grifter?
Somebody who's doing it for let's just say the conspiracies that we believe that we all started to believe, but all of a sudden the government's got involved and people are like, holy fuck, this thing's real. And I've got all the respect in the world for like the likes of even, I mean, Rich fell out with me. I didn't fall out with him. I've got respect for Goof. I've got respect for Stephen Cambion, Lou Jimenez. I've got respect for all of them and their opinions. Mick West. I like the debunks. I think it's great. I'm glad they're here. I've even done it. I've even dabbled myself. I've put my nipple in a bit of debunking myself. But I think when it comes to this, I wonder if these same YouTubers, if they content creators, whatever, because it's not just YouTube they're on. I wonder if they ever asked themselves that question. You know, maybe we were right way back when we got into this in the beginning, when we actually believed, when we saw that X-Files poster that Ian had backwards in the background. You know, maybe we were right to want to believe. We don't know what it is, but there are people like the Smoking Man that are behind this, and they have people that are doing the little jigs, you know, they're playing about with us. And it's not about how much money they can make because they're already on the fucking payroll. And they're doing it for a certain reason. Fravor, I don't think is the guy. Graves, I don't think's the guy. I think there's something there that they get them guys genuinely believe. Grush is a different beast altogether. That guy, there is something about him. The way his mannerisms are, everything. And if I'm wrong and he's doing it for all the fucking right reasons, I'll be the first to say, wow. Awesome.
I would too. I'd be up there.
There's a confidence there in that man. That
but isn't that part of the grift? When in order for the grift,
I don't think it's a grift.
Yeah, but in order for any grift to work or any con to work, the person running the con has to believe the con himself.
I don't think it's a con.
So he's been gaslit. You gaslit.
I don't even know. I don't know if he's being gaslit. He could be doing his job.
He could be. You know, I'm with you, Ollie. I agree with you. The last thing you said is that if he comes to the table with some evidence, some proof, even if we're going to discuss it, but if he comes to the table, then I'll say, look, he showed us something. Just like what I'm saying about Kirkpatrick. I'm not saying the same thing about Corbell because everything he's put out, we've debunked.
I mean, Ian, Stephen, he always says, follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we follow the money, Big Rush, with this?
Own corporation set up to take
Soul Foundation
royalties and everything. He's got that set up.
Do we know how much money that
we know that he's done a film with Ross Coulthard, which is yet to be released,
right?
Which presumably they've put under Nexstar Media, which is why Nexstar Media have then gone, well, a partner of ours, News Nation, go on there, do that. News Nation is the news wing of Nexstar Media.
His background.
I imagine it's all together.
But his background does check Grush's. People have looked into his. I've personally not. I know some of you guys have looked into his background.
The perfect patsy. Yes.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, if these people are doing a just a grift, how come nobody never steps in? Now you had the.
I'm getting an M. Is someone in the audience? I'm getting an M. Margaret. Yes, that's it. Margaret. Oh, can you contact me dead husband? Oh, people will believe any old shit. That's what it is, man. Really. Why do people like that never? The house that I live in at the moment used to be owned by a guy called Billy Roberts, who was one of the leading psychics in the UK. It's a really strange house. There's windows between all the rooms, so you can basically see the rest of the house from any part in the house. It's a very, very strange layout. And he was one of the UK's leading psychics. Why wasn't he stopped? You know, make thousands and thousands every show. No one stopped him and said, "Excuse me, what you're doing is you're just taking gullible people here."
And how many bloody good spoons did fucking Uri Geller fuck up?
Well, he's actually been taken on as an advisor in this capacity. So,
did you see the alien thing he was pointing out?
He's ridiculous, ain't he? He's just getting worse.
Did you see the alien that he pointed out?
They're bedding in. Greer's done it too. Greer's done it too. And Linda Moulton Howe, because she's reported woo for so long and has such a massive catalogue of reporting woo, which has all been crap, she's now a brilliant journalist. Which I would say she's an excellent reporter of fantastic stories. But a journalist.
Did you see the Rockefeller one? Did you see the Rockefeller picture that we brought up?
Cool.
That's very interesting.
Oh yeah, that picture. Yes.
Sorry, Hidden, covering you up there.
No worries.
No.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
But yeah, totally, isn't it? Isn't that weird? It's like the famous picture of
so that's what
Einstein and all the other scientists together
maybe it's more than just bomb. A grift. You always say, everybody says follow the money. Why not follow the history rather than the money?
Or the fact that there's a saying that 10 men march further in a day than one man can alone.
Don't get me wrong. There's probably there's probably plenty of money in it. But there's probably
grouping together like that allows them to confer, get their story straight, and have what Steve calls the circle jerk.
Yeah, I do think there is a very deep, dark conspiracy within this field, though. That's the reason why let's face it, that is the fucking reason why we're all still here. Because we would have left long ago when we realized that there was so much fuckery with it.
I think that's been the issue with this disclosure. A lot of witnesses were dropped and considered not viable as witnesses. As soon as you start putting everything down on a piece of paper and drawing the lines between people, and you realize that this person's story supports this person's story, which goes back round and supports this person's story. So none of it is actually, they're all like scarecrows in the Wizard of Oz pointing both ways, you know. It's just...
That's what I was saying. They're all backing each other up now. So any new people is only going to back up somebody up. Well, I presume. That's why I just rather stay and deal with civilian sightings, man.
Fantastic claims require fantastic proof, but fantastic claims also fill fantastic amounts of seats.
Yeah, I like that. I'm like, I honestly did. I'm baffled by it. I never thought I'd see this happen. As much as people look at this and go, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. If you went round to your next, I mean, maybe your next door neighbours into it, boys. I don't know. But if you two both went round next door and showed the people this congressional hearing, what do you think?
You try and explain the Virginia incident to anyone who isn't into UFOs, and they'll have you sectioned.
No, but I think my point there is we're getting this us in the UK, we've stayed away from this for a long time. But now, the biggest platform, which is not big anymore, because let's face it, that their watch time has dropped big time. But the BBC is covering this. We always go back to that in the UK. We do an alien on it whenever I speak about UFOs, because I'm like, if my dad's not seen it, then nobody in the UK know. But people at work that actually don't know what I do on a night when I'm sat in this chair with this hat on are talking about this. People know I like a bit of an alien story, a UFO story at work, because I like a conspiracy. I'll speak about it. I don't really speak about what I do here, but people are talking about this in the UK for the first time. Now, that is one fucking good grift that's made it straight over here.
It's an interesting one. I remember, I'm old enough to appreciate that when you used to go down the pub, those places with a bar where you could smoke. I'll have a brown mix, please. Bottle of Nuki brown ale and a half a mild. And there'd be a few people. There'd be someone in the pub that was renowned for bullshitting and having told stories. There'd be someone in the pub that had seen a UFO. Oh, go talk to him. He's seen a UFO. Go and ask him.
No, but they had.
They would.
As
yeah,
well.
but they had. That's the thing. Yeah. We don't have that forum now.
I've heard these stories.
So it was always quite common, but I mean, it wasn't outwardly spoken about, because ufologists in the UK, people have cocked their head on one side. Oh yeah.
And this is the thing, Ian. One thing that I feel like is that it's gone missing with this field is the belief. The belief is fucked off. Because all we want to do now is we want to break it down. We want to destroy it, and we want to chuck it out. That's what we want to do straight away.
So do you think that we're destroying it by
I'm not
literally dissecting?
I think the dissecting is needed, but I think it's got to a point now, especially if we go back to the AI. So I don't want to make it about an AI show, but we've got stuff now that in the next few years it's going to get mental, where we won't be able. I don't think
in the next month.
Right? Yeah. So we could get the smoking gun piece of footage that has actually got all the fucking instruments working on the best piece of gimbal.
Ollie, I can generate an image. Currently, generate an image at 1280 by 720 in 1.2 seconds. Okay, if I do it the standard 512 by 512 seconds, I can generate maybe 2.5 images a second. NVIDIA has just released a paper where they've increased AI image generation 1,000-fold, which means that you can generate 30 frames a second AI images at 30 frames a second in real time with overhead.
No, that is.
I just want to ask something.
That's coming. That's a month, maybe 2 months away.
Well, if you look at an AI image hidden, you've always got this you've got this progression of how many frames is it? About 14 frames per second, less than that, isn't it? At the moment.
For animation, 14, 15 frames a second. Yeah. Our eye technically, the frame rate of our eye technically is about 14, 15 frames per second, but we can interpolate up to about 140 frames a second.
Well, I just want to ask Hang Tight, what footage is he on about? Because he said let's try and debunk the latest footage on X. What one's that? Is that the one that wouldn't happen to be the one that Tom DeLonge's put out?
I think he means Twitter.
Oh, I know. But as far as the latest footage that I know is the one that Tom DeLonge's put out.
Which one is that?
if that's the one you're on about, I can easily debunk that one for you.
Have you got it hidden? Can you share it here?
Is that it? I don't know. I just want to know if it's because Tom DeLonge's put out something stupid again. Well, he's the American version of Uri Geller.
I used to love Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, he's not.
God bless his soul.
Ollie, I've got about 10 minutes left with my wife before she goes to bed.
Mate,
so.
we are wrapping this up in a second. Let me just pull out of this. That was an AI image that I created and sent to you, Hidden on it. Let's have a look. Where is this?
Yeah, look, I'll open up my my router and share the front end of my AI to you at some point. Ollie, just give me a shout and have a play. It does music, video, text to image, image to image, video to video. You can give it video and then get it to use your video as a source and then imagine over the top of your video. It uses the cadence, the action from your video and the motion of people and stuff, and then puts different stuff over the top of it. It's very cool.
Going straight over my head, but
it's very cool. I haven't put anything out yet like that because there is a curve to this, and if I show all my aces, then no one's going to be asked about the cards lower. So I'm trying to leak stuff out whilst the curve is constantly expanding. AI for me changes on a daily basis.
So did you leak that picture that we were looking at earlier? It was you. You're the whistleblower.
You know, Wally, you know I've had third phase already. I mean, and that was aimed at Tyler. That was aimed at Security Team 10. Third phase picked it up and ran my video that I shot in my bedroom of a
the
bicycle
red,
brake, an LED brake light attached to the ceiling pendant in my room, reflected off the window at right exactly angle. And if you get it at about 8 foot behind you, you get the right parallax. As you move across the window, the reflection moves as if it's actually in the sky. It's perfect. So beyond that, I designed a perfect
I want to see that now.
How to make UFOs. Like the recipe to do it perfectly, and I sent that to Rich. Rich sent it to Third Phase. All of a sudden, we've got the Pepper's Ghost video on Third Phase's balcony that they put out about a month after I'd given that to Rich.
Oh, so I take it you found out with Rich as well.
It may be that all of that might be my fault. Sorry.
I want to see that video, man.
I fell out with Rich because Rich just started being an arse to people, and I was on Thomas Fessler's show at the time, and then Thomas Fessler started being an arse as well, and I'm like,
I think it's something about
when I put my heart and soul in, when I put my heart and soul into something and really give them trust, and then they turn around and just you hear people. I was in a video chat, and he thought I'd left the video chat, at which point then I heard them talking about me behind my back. And it was like, oh, yeah, excuse me, I am still here. At which point they started falling over. And I've not spoken to him since. Bunch of CUNTs, a lot of them.
Yeah, I once had a mate that used to, at work, he used to ring me about work stuff in the job that I did at the time. And I was in the pub once, and I'm just at the bar, and my phone rings, and it's my mate. And I looked at my phone, and I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And I went, "Hey up, mate," and he went, "You really want to check who's behind you before you pull a face like that?" And I just like, and he was just
but you didn't say anything nasty. What I overheard Thomas and Ak saying was not nice, and didn't just reflect on me, it reflected on everyone else in my team. And it I suddenly realized, oh, that's why Jeff left, that's why Greg doesn't do it, that's why Rick and Havoc doesn't do it anymore. Rick and Havoc doesn't talk to me at the moment. I think he presumes I'm in league with Fessler in some way still. Oh my god.
I think I know John. John's
a good lad. Yeah,
I interviewed John. I think I did. Yeah, John did his first interview on Alien Addict.
He does the orbs thing. I've got an orbs video
and then
as well.
Loads of people wanted to interview. They wanted his story. I genuinely believe John saw something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I invited John on tonight. I didn't know you two had an issue.
I know. I didn't know either. I didn't know. It's just that whenever I try and like or respond to any of his comments on Discord or I message him, he never gets back to me. And I think
now he's not even seen the invite anyway. He's not, because it shows if it's sent.
Shame that I thought we were friends. I still think we're friends. I don't think we've fallen out at all. You know?
I think John's looking for answers as somebody who's genuinely experienced.
Yep.
Something.
Likewise.
And he's fucked off with all of it
because it's not giving you any answers. It's just when you go to people that claim to know the answers and you tell them your story, they go, "Get the fuck away from me! I don't want your possession." So that's.
I mean, John's actual story actually reminds me of what happened to me in America, kind of.
Yeah.
Almost, but he was a 15-year-old lad.
You've heard some of what happened to me as well, I think.
Yeah.
When we first started talking, but for me, it's shadow people. So very much a reality.
You know what? We will do a show. We'll get all experiences on together, whether you get on or not. I think it would make a great show, great discussion, to actually get people that are all experiences. What have you experienced?
I've seen the shadow people. I had the hat.
Have you?
Yeah. I'm not making this shit up, man.
I believe you. I
had this. See, right. I had this.
I had it for about a 20-year period.
Yeah, I still think it's with us, but you know, one thing I learned the moment I started smoking pot, this thing just
went.
Not went. It just was. It couldn't connect.
Interesting.
It's come to me, and it has been physical. It's punched me once when I was older. It wanted me to look at it, and I wouldn't look. I just wouldn't look at it.
Now I have looked at it. When we were in the Canaries, this thing came into our room, pulled the covers off our bed, me and my wife. I thought it was my wife stulling the duvet at the time until my hand went on to my wife and went, if my wife's there, then what's pulling the covers off the bed? And I basically waited for it to get on the edge of the bed and pulled the duvet out from underneath it, flipped it off onto the floor, heard it hit the floor. It screamed at me in Latin. And as I've gone around and turned the bedside light on, you see this thing scrabbling, trying to get purchase on the tile floor, and it couldn't. So whatever I'm not saying it like had hooves, but the way its feet were like almost like a way the greyhound's feet are somehow. They weren't like feet, they were more like paws or claws. Yeah, it was about 3 foot tall. And it skated across the tiles to get to the window and went up behind the curtain, and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, could see the curtains moving and was like, had heard it screaming in Latin and was like, what the hell's just happened? I told her,
how did you know
what I'd perceived, and she went, well, there's obviously something up behind the curtain. So it took us about half an hour of daring each other, and I ended up going and looking up behind the curtain. There was nothing there, and the room was locked
how did you know
from the inside.
Latin, though?
I thought it was sped up Spanish at first, but now I know in retrospect that it was Latin. And here's the horrible thing. Here's the horrible thing. When I woke up with the covers going, there were words in my head. There were words in my head, and the words in my head were, "He wants to see you." So whatever it was that was there had been sent to collect me and take me to see someone. Him. He wants to see you.
Did you see? Did you boys see last week's Sunday show with Monica Miller? Have you heard the Bill Vale story? The ex NASA engineer. Well, he watched that interview, and we originally reached out to him to get him on, and he's like, I don't do interviews anymore. Monica wrote my book, co-wrote the book with him. He basically told the story. She put the story out. Next week. So Bill saw the interview.
These shadow people, when we see the shadows, it's a partial manifestation. They can fully manifest, and they don't look. They're not built correctly. Is about the best description for it.
After seeing the interview, he got in touch. He's got in touch, and he wants to come on next Sunday.
Wow.
So ex NASA engineer, now believer in the paranormal big time.
Yeah, I bet he's got some good info.
Well,
if he's placed himself at the top of a pyramid of experiences, then he's got the benefit of all their knowledge.
He says he'll do one last interview, and he'll do it here after he saw the show that we did. So yeah, it's going to be good. Mr. Ian, I know you've got to get off, so we're going to end the show now, so I can have a quick chat with both of you after the show. Everybody in the chat, you've been absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Lovely audience.
They are a nice audience. Every so often we get a little bit of trolling and what have you, but even trolls are welcome here, as long as you're not totally agreeing with everything. I don't care. If you like the show,
with something else, though.
If you like the show, share it out to your friends. We have branched out. We have a Rockfin show. Go check it out. We are creeping up to 300 subscribers. We only launched Rockfin, I think, a couple of months ago. It's doing well, and you can literally speak about whatever you want in that chat. You are not censored whatsoever. Your opinions, it doesn't matter. It does matter. But what I'm saying is, you can say anything on Rockfin.
Boobies.
Yeah. Everybody loves a bosom for a pillow.
There's a song about that.
There is. But yeah, Rockfin is going to be every Thursday. We will always go live about 8:30 on YouTube for about half an hour before the Rockfin. Don't expect a show, because it's not going to be. It's just so we'll drop the link, and we'll just me and Lee or Dave will ask about for a bit before we go over to Rockfin and things get serious on there, or not so serious. But it's going to be it's a different show to Alien Addict completely. It is alien, and we're gonna do some alien stuff, UFO stuff. We already have done some alien UFO stuff over there. When the three guys, Grush, Fravor, and Graves, did their thing that Wednesday, we almost did YouTube, but we said no, let's go straight to Rockfin, so we can speak honestly about it. So yeah, Rockfin. I worry about Mum and Dad, the platform that we're on at the moment, in the content that we do. Because if this thing gets serious, and if my inkling is right, and it's not just about making a few grand each, maybe a few mil. If it's a few bill, then maybe Stephen and Lou's right. I don't know. I'm probably wrong with this.
Get yourself.
But I have a feeling there's more to this than meets the eye. Then that's the sort of platforms that we're going to have to go to, unless it changes here. But for now, I'm going to say good night. God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. And when I say God bless, I actually mean it. And I'll leave you last night's Rockfin intro to pull us out.
Mm-hmm.